Hey, Whippersnappers, this is Tortimer the Gray. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Showdown Gray version. This week was our first week in OU, and it was also a rival battle week, and so you guys came at me, and Nereon came at me with his rival starter Roserade, and then he's got another bunch of people that he has put on the team here. For those of you guys who have been following me in my Showdown battles for any length of time, you know that OU is not my favorite. It's not my favorite tier, and definitely showed this week. I was giving it some thought, and I honestly think I lost more battles than I won this week, which is not typical. It's not typical, but you guys hit your stride, and my deficiency in the OU tier really came out. Because I'm one of those people, I really prefer to use Pokemon that I like. As opposed to just using Pokemon that are powerful. And I mean, I've got Rotom Wash on my team, but I love the Rotom line, so I mean that's fine. And you know, but it's just you guys, man, just kicked my butt this week a little bit. So Nereon's got his team here. Blackavar goes down from the I think Life Orb damage or whatever. Heatran comes in with the Eruption, which Gladriel has traced the Flash Fire, so we get that off, which is pretty good. We are immune to the fire. Unfortunately, Heatran doesn't have much else, and so they're going to have to switch out. Shaman switches into the Focus Blast, which is tough for us. They get the critical hit Leaf Storm, which would have hurt either way, probably, but it would have been nice if we could have gotten the Focus Blast off on the Heatran before Gladriel went out. Mega Kazooie comes in order to finish off the Shaman, and Togekiss is going to take a hard hit before going up for the Fly. I take the opportunity to roost a little bit, and Togekiss is going to be able to do a little bit of damage before going down to the U-turn, and I switch out into Toadette, and Toadette's going to be able to come at it with the Mach Punch, and finish off Heatran there with another one. So one of our few wins this week. One of our very few wins this week. Thank you so much for participating around. I loved seeing your rival team evolve, pun intended, I guess. And I look forward to our continued battles throughout the series, as you are one of my regular supporters, and so I appreciate you coming back week after week. Here we go, guys. Let's check what the rest of you rivals had in store for us. Alrighty, guys, here we go. Battle number 2 up against the Espresso Cat. And we are in the top right this time. I couldn't find the... Oh, there's the switch sides button. Well, we'll just let it run. But yeah, E-Cat came at us with his interesting Steel-type team. And I don't remember exactly who E-Cat's starter was, or if he may not be reusing a starter from before. I honestly don't remember, because nothing's really jumping out at me. I'd have to go back and look at previous rival battles. So sorry, ECAT, if it is a continuation. I'm pretty sure, because I saw you put a battle with this team up on your channel last week or so. So I think it's just another team that you made. I don't think it's specifically for this necessarily. It's just an OU team you liked, which is fine. And so Gladriel comes in, and this time, so I've got the Mega items on both Gladriel and Pidgeot. And so this time I decide I need the special defenses of Gladriel over Pidgeot, and for some reason some of the sprites aren't loading in, which is kind of annoying. I apologize for that. You get the broken images with the attacks and everything like that. I apologize. Yeah, so we have Mega Gladriel this time as opposed to Mega Pidgeot, which is useful with the extra bulky Gardevoir. I'm like, wait, what is this Pokemon's name? Mega Gardevoir is definitely useful to us. I may look for a special wall that is, I may need to look for a special wall that isn't tied to a Mega, because if I choose to use Pidgeot as opposed to Gladriel, then she's not really useful. Especially because she's running Hyper Voice, and so that's only a Fairy-type move if you have Pixelate, which only Mega Gladriel gets. So, it's kind of, we don't even have a Fairy-type move with the Mega there, so, or without the Mega there. Pidgeot comes in with the U-turn, finishes off the Mega Altaria, and then the Key comes in, gets burned, and Klefki is going to take a little bit of damage. Whirlpool is going to take a little bit of damage. Klefki uses Rest, which is very smart, gets all its health back, and and gets rid of the burn, so that works out nicely for it. We're continuing to take some toxic damage there. Throwing up those hydro pumps, doing some good damage to the steel fairy type. And Klefki stays asleep, so we get the Volt Switch off and are going to switch Whirlpool on out. Bring Blackavar in, who's going to take decent damage from the spikes. Magneton comes at us, but we throw up the Ice Beam to pop the balloon, and then we're going to throw up the Earth Power there. But Magneton gets the... Or Magnezone gets the Hidden Power Ice off first, and so we're not able to actually do any damage to it. Toadette comes in at that point. Then we get the Spore off on the Heracross, boosting the 2x attack. But then they land the Mega Horn, and so Heracross is able to easily take out Toadette. Kazooie comes in, but again, Mega Kazooie has the ability that allows it to have boosted accuracy for low accuracy moves. So unfortunately, Hurricane isn't going to hit without that boost, and Heracross is going to come in and finish off the team here. So a good battle there from ECAT. It looked like it was going our way for a little bit, but then just the slightest turn, and that's why you do Pokemon battles, because you the slightest thing and you can pull it out. Someone might have a superior team, but you can end up finding a way to defeat it. And so that worked out very nicely for ECAT there. So congratulations, sir, on your win this week. I haven't done OU in, well, since we've started this series, so months. So I'm gonna have to really dust off the rust a little bit, because OU is definitely a harder playground to jump back into than some of the lower tiers that we've been in recently. So, whew, thank you so much for that, ECAT. I appreciate you coming back week after week. And let's check out what the rest of you rivals have. Here we go. Alrighty guys, here we go up against Rival Nougat, and Rival Nougat led off with Broom, who has Mold Breaker, which allows it to hit Whirlpool with the Earthquake, which did pretty good damage. Not as good as I would have expected that to maybe kill, but I bring a Kazooie because I know that, well, Mold Breaker helps against abilities that prevent moves from hitting, but not against other types. So I figured the Flying type Kazooie would be the best bet. I bring that in, do good damage to the Metagross, and then I'm going to switch out of Phoenix, bring Blackavar in to throw up the Sludge Wave. Phoenix sets up the Tailwind and then switches out, bringing in Charmu. But I threw up the Ice Beam, kind of expecting something help going on there after the Tailwind went. So Charmu gets down to just 1% HP. And so that works out pretty well for us. That's Nougat's starter, so a good start there is taking out his prized Pokemon. Hurts the morale and everything, but he's still got everybody in play, but a lot of people are taking some decent damage at this point, which will help us. Gladriel comes out rather. Whirlpool comes in. We have Whirlpool on Whirlpool action. I'm going to throw up the Pain Split here to get ourselves a little more even. And then the Hydro Pump's going to miss, which is going to give me a chance to heal up a little bit. And then Volt Switch on out into Toadette. They use the Thunder there, but Toadette's able to survive it without too much trouble. And then Eternity comes in, their Latias, and gets hit with a Bullet Seed, which actually does pretty decent damage. So while it's asleep, I figure, well, let's go for it, hoping that I will eventually get a Bullet Seed that will hit more than twice, because our Life Orb damage isn't going to allow us to do a whole lot more either way. And unfortunately, we do not hit more than twice at any point during Toadette's reign, and so Toadette dies to Life Orb before the Latias goes down. So Nougat still has all 6 Pokemon, although they're starting to look a little ragged. And so we're going to just continue to chip away. Our Hydro Pump hits while theirs misses, which is a good fortune for us. And then we're going to Volt Switch on out, which just happens to be enough to finish off their Rotom Wash. And so that works out nicely. Kazooie then comes in. He's going to get hit by a Rock Slide, but the defenses on the Mega Pidgeot, though, hangs in there with no trouble and is able to throw up the Heat Wave to finish off the Steel Ground type of Excadrill. And then we're going to Hurricane the Talonflame. That's what this one's called. I was gonna say Fletchling and then Fletching Dur, but I'm like, no, that's the other ones. So I bring Mega Pidgeot out, Blackavar in to finish up a little bit here. Mr. Juffy is not able to get a move off before the Sucker Punch lands, and Nougat goes down. So in Nougat's defense, he had a couple of things. He challenged me, but he had forgotten to or made the mistake of not adding certain things to his team, and like his Talonflame didn't have Gale Wings. and I think there was a couple of other little bits and pieces that he had forgotten to do, that he intended to, and we did a rematch immediately after this battle, just for fun, because I felt bad, because Nougat usually almost beats me. He's usually one of the toughest competitors that we have in this series, and so for me to demolish him as much as we did this week, it was unusual. So I let him make his tweaks, and I think he KO'd me like 6-0 or something like that. So yeah, definitely those couple of tweaks were exactly what he needed. But I will take the win, and we'll move on from there, because this was the official challenge, and so we'll take it. And I forgot to save the replay of the other one. But thank you so much, Rival Nougat, for battling, and I'm sure you will continue to devastate me in the future, OU, because it's just not my tier. It's not my tier. Well, we'll see how it goes, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Hopefully we have a little bit of time to shake off the rust, but yeah, let's jump into the next one, shall we? Thanks again, Nougat. Have a good one. Alrighty guys, here we go up against rival David Khan, and he leads off with Kipper Flipper, and I lead off with Fumesy. I throw up the Will-O-Wisp, which is going to be useful to us as Swamperts and tend to be physical attacking, except for this guy ends up being a special attacker, throwing up that Blizzard, which one-shots Toadette, unfortunately. Gladriel comes in, then at that point, I decide that I'm going to Mega Evolve here, because with that Swampert being specially defensive, as well as we got like the Dragonite and Altaria and some of these other guys, I figure we're going to need the special defense a little bit more than we're going to need Kazooie's attack. So we end up doing that. Gladriel comes in, and we're going to be able to do some pretty decent damage here to the Pokemon. The Mega Garchomp is not really going to be much of a match for the Fairy-type Gladriel, and so that works out pretty well. We get to kind of knock out the Mega there early, and so we don't have to worry too much about that. Samsung comes in on Whirlpool, but we switch out, bring in Fumesy, who's going to take who's getting paralyzed by the discharge. Fumesy's going to throw up some stuff. Sludge Bomb not doing a ton, but starting to chip away at the largely defensive Rotom Wash, so that works out, and then we finish it off the next turn, and Fumesy gets a little bit of health back from his Black Sludge, so that works out. The Blizzard comes from the Dragonite, doing hard damage. Fumesy paralyzed, not going to be able to withstand the Dragonite for long, and is going to go down, at which point Blackavar comes in with the Ice Beam, going to do hard damage, taking that Aqua Tail like a boss, and then they switch into Artaria, which unfortunately is also 4 times weak to Blackavar's Ice Beam, so going to go down, leaving them just with the Dragonite, who Blackavar Sucker Punches, and then Blackavar goes down, but we've still got 3 Pokemon left, so we end up winning that battle. I actually won a lot more this week than I anticipated. It's going to be almost half and half, which is kind of exciting. I thought I did way worse this week, so that's fun. I guess some of my losses were just crushing defeats, so I felt bad going into it. But there we go. Thank you so much, David, for participating. Love getting new faces in here who stick around. So awesome that you've been around for the last several weeks. So thank you so much for participating. I look forward to battling you more in the future. Let's check out what the last 2 rivals have in store for us. Here we go. Alrighty guys, here we go. Second to last battle for today, up against rival Mac. And Mac leads off with the Excadrill, but is going to switch out into the Thundurus. And Thundurus is going to take some hard damage from Whirlpool before switching out. Thunder stores up the Thunder Wave, but Toadette's got the Mach Punch, so we're still able to outspeed and finish it off before it gets to land another move. At that point, Conkeldurr, which is the stupidest name for this thing, Conkeldurr comes in. I'm going to do nothing to Fumesy, and then going to switch out. We get the Will-O-Wisp up on the Excadrill, and then we're going to get Fumesy out of there, knowing that Mold Breaker is going to allow it to hit. So we bring Kazooie in, while Excadrill takes the opportunity to set up Stealth Rocks. Kazooie's going to Mega Evolve and throw up that Heat Wave. The Iron Head not doing a whole lot, and the Burn continuing to take down the Excadrill. They leave it in, Mac leaves it in to die, and so that works out fairly nicely for us. Kazooie is unfortunately going to take an Icicle Crash from the Weevil, though, and go down, so our Mega's out of the picture. Whirlpool then comes in, Chansey is going to take a Will-O-Wisp, which is going to start ticking away at its health a little bit for us. And then we're going to use the Pain Split, which is going to get us back to full health, because Chanseys have so much HP that we're able to get back to full health with the Pain Split, so that works out pretty nicely. We use the Pain Split again and are able to get almost back to full, well, we are back at full health again, and the Conkeldurr is going to take, even with the burn, the Drain Punch is going to do almost half damage on Whirlpool, so that's a tough spot to be in, especially because that gives him HP back, so not gonna be the best case scenario for us. As Whirlpool goes down to the Conkeldurr, we're gonna bring in Gladriel, and we don't have. This is one of those instances where the fact that we can't Mega Evolve Gladriel leaves us kind of in a bad spot. Because we don't have access to Gladriel's very tight moving moves to get a second stab going. But the Psyshock's going to be enough to finish off the Chansey at least. And then they bring in their Gardevoir and Mega Evolve there. We throw up the Hyper Voice, but it's not going to be nearly enough to get through the special defenses of the new Mega Gardevoir. And so Gladriel's going to go down. At which point Blackavar comes in. We're going to throw up the Sludge Wave, which is going to hit Cement square in the face, do some pretty decent damage, and then the Earth Power is going to finish him off. At that point, Weavile comes back in, though. We're going to switch out into Fumesy, and Weavile's going to throw the Icicle Crash up, which is going to get a crit, and is going to do hard damage to Fumesy. And then we're going to get another crit here, which is going to finish Fumesy off. So I'm like, well, at least we don't get a crit. He might be able to survive this next one, but no, unfortunately not. We throw up the Mach Punch there, which is resisted by the Mega Gardevoir, and they're going to throw up the Psyshock, which is going to one-shot Toadette, and then Blackavar comes back in, and the Psyshock is going to do what it does best and finish off the Nidoking there. So Mac wins that one pretty handily, still had the Weavile, which could have also wrecked all of our remaining Pokemon, so no question there, Mac just had the better hand. But yeah, thank you so much, Rival Mac, for coming out this week. I appreciate your continued support. Yeah, we've got one rival battle left, so let's check it out, and then we'll talk about what we're doing next week. Alrighty, guys, here we go. Alrighty, guys, last battle of today, we were up against rival Codeman, and Code leads off with the Scizor, where they quickly U-turn out into their Gardevoir, who's going to trace the Levitate ability and then Mega Evolve. They set up the Protect, so the Volt Switch doesn't work, and then they're going to throw up the Hyper Voice, which is going to finish off Whirlpool, so tough hit there. Then the Psyshock comes, finishes off Blackavar, so already a rough start. I decide that the power of Mega Kazooie is going to be more necessary at this point, because I just need to get this thing off the field, and thankfully that works out. The Hurricanes for Mega Kazooie is able to finish off the beast that is the Mega Gardevoir. Dragonite takes the chances to set up here, though, and I take a chance to Roost, but then they'll throw up the Hurricane, which does not enough. Not going to be enough to get rid of this Dragonite at this rate, especially if he decides to start attacking, which at this point he does, and so that's rough. Mega Pidgeot goes down. But we were able to bring in Gladriel, and unfortunately, this is the instance I'm looking at, especially because we don't have a Fairy-type move. We're up against the Dragon-type, and we don't have a Fairy-type move, so my only bet was to try and burn and hope that that would work out, at least for someone in the future. If I had the ability to use Hyper Voice with Pixelate there, it might have been a different story. So I need to maybe tweak this a little bit, figure out the best way that I can get all of the coverage I need, while also having some flexibility in the playstyle, like choosing between two Megas or something like that. So I may have to get a different move on Gladriel or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. OU's not my tier, so we'll get it figured out as we go. But Toadette gets Zen Headbutted there by the Jirachi, and Codeman takes us out 2-6. So yeah, that's a rough loss there, but again, this isn't my tier, so gonna really have to brush up a bit, do some fine-tuning to the team, so hopefully we can stay competitive against you guys. But for now, let's figure out what we're doing next week, and then we'll get going here tomorrow morning with whatever our challenge awaits, so let's check it out. Here we go. Alrighty, guys, here we go. Let's quickly determine what we're going to be doing next week. Or tomorrow, I guess, starting this week. Okay, so we need to generate 1 through 6. 1 through 6 generate, and that gives us a 5. Which another gym. Oh gosh, I'm not ready for another gym battle yet. Oh, I'm so bad at this tier. Okay, but the RNG gods have spoken. So, gym battle this week. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Okay, so we need to figure out a gym type. So we'll generate 1 through 18. Okay, 1 through 18, and we get number 1. Number 1. All right, so normal type. Normal type is going to be the gym type this week. That'll be interesting. I love normal types, so it'll be cool to see what you guys put together for that. I would think in OU you probably have access to pretty much every normal type. I can't imagine there's a whole lot of normal types who have been relegated to Ubers or anything goes, but it's certainly possible. Yeah, so this will be really interesting for me because I love this type. So it'll be cool to see what you guys come up with there. But yeah, so gym battle this week. I really need to work on my team today. Preparation for tomorrow morning. That's going to be interesting. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Get your normal type gym teams together, and I will see you guys out there this week. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you guys have enjoyed watching the series and you've yet to participate, what are you waiting for? Down in the description below, there's details on how you can go to Pokemon Showdown and find me and battle me to be a part of this series. Pokemon Showdown is a free online battle simulator. You don't have to download anything. You don't have to register or give any kind of information. You just jump on, pick a name, and start battling. Get in there. Check in the description down below for all those details. I will see you guys out there this week. And as always, I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. Make sure to leave those likes, comments, subscriptions for me, guys, and I will see you all back here next time. Alrighty, guys. Have a good one.